Hey YouTube, welcome to episode 2 of my full survival playthrough raid series with a focus on survival and progression. On screen is a reminder of the extra restrictions we'll be using during this series to really emphasise the need to survive as everything is at risk. If you missed episode 1 then I've linked it in the description below. Here's our current stats after 4 raids and we're sitting at approximately 400 rubles cash right now. As well as looking to progress through the tasks, we'll be looking to get our cash up to the 1.1 million mark to purchase the SCAV junk box, as our stash space is going to be a real issue soon. After jumping in a reserve SCAV raid where we died to a PMC, we headed off to Interchange to grab 2 more Iskras that we'll need for Jaeger's Thrifty task. I was planning to switch over to Customs, but a new Sanator event just started on Customs, so not the best place to hang out right now for us. We kept the same loadout but took a larger backpack this time and some cash for the car extract. Ideally we'll be looking to grab some loot this time as well as the Iskras. Okay, so we spawned over just by railway. So we need 2 Iskras. The best place will be actually straight up in front of us. So we should have a spawn all the way down there. And another one possibly on our left. What we're going to do is we're going to try and get across this road, get out of sight of any range from down the road. Don't want to get involved in that. And then we'll actually take it around the outside here. Because we're not looking to find anything that needs to be found in raid, we can move a little bit quicker here. Because although obviously with the rule set that we've got, dying costs me money because nothing's insured, it's not the end of the world. We're running pretty low tier gear. The only real headache it will give us is it will slow us down from getting a SCAV junk box, which is going to be really important because of space. But if we really had to, I could maybe go and do a couple of lighthouse runs and probably get the money I need for that. I'm trying to stay on point here a little bit. I'd rather run reserve with the SCAV just for the keys rather than having to do money runs, but we just have to see how these raids go. Like next to no reason for anyone to be pathing towards me here in this way. Sure, there might be someone coming along here to have a fight. That often happens. There's often big fights in the front of Idea there. No reason for them to be on this side. So I'm not running because I don't want them to hear me and draw the attention if they are on that side of the hill. Clear of them. So the idea is we're going to try and get these 2 Iskras, and hopefully if the van is up, we're going to get out that way. So what I will loot here. Obviously we've not been looting these others. I didn't want to waste any time picking, looting things that we can't take. Don't really need that. We'll keep these for now. They're worth a little bit of money. Basically this is an Iskra stroke money run, but quick. We want to be in and out in 7 minutes. We can't sell anything to the flea market, so it really doesn't matter if we got out before 7 minutes, other than we'd lose a bit of XP. There is a spawn up here, so I'm just going to be careful. See if anyone's put the power on. They haven't again. Sometimes, that makes me think that somebody's, going to come there because they want the power on, or they're holding off. Yeah, some people will camp that, especially the inside, and wait for people to come in. I've seen people there a lot, just sitting there. Right, the question here is, do we get this Iskra and then get across? I think we do. There's some meds here as well, so we'll hit this one. Also means that if all hell kicks off over there for some reason, all of a sudden, we'd have our 2 Iskras. We could just bail out and go to the no backpack extract without even going over there. And the other good reason for trying to keep this to like a 7 to 10 minute raid is it makes it much less likely that there'll be people at Amacon, which is going to be our extract. Normally loose stuff here. Okay. There's the 2 Iskras. We'll see if we can get a bit more loot. We're going to need that for a task. That's not really worth much. Honestly, some of this stuff is not worth taking. I'm just using it for XP. That would be very good. Definitely on a selling it on the flea market. Obviously, some of this stuff's really not worth hanging on to for that amount of space it's going to take. Got to remember we don't have space in our stash for this stuff, so it's all going straight to vendors. Adrenaline's not really great. We need the meds. Those piles of meds are good. We need 7 of them, I think it is, for the 206k, I think it is. There's someone above. Wait and see if we hear anything else here. Not a big fan of interchange on the outside of interchange. There's a lot of people who will sit and just try and pick people off. I'd rather get in there and fight than be hanging around out here, but especially as I've got no range on my weapon. Actually going to take a painkiller here, just across. We'll take down scavs here if we see them. I just want to check if the car's here first. Right, there's a very good chance the players spawned over here and may still be here, so this is a risk. It kind of like goes against the survival thing a little bit, but also important to loot. Okay, so the van is there, so we are going to loot this and then we're going to get out through the van. There's actually a stash up here as well, so to me this is less risk than going to Amacon anyway, so we'll hit the stash, hit what we can on the way through here, and then get out the van. By the way, I should say I don't know the stashes on interchange, most of them, so you'll have to ignore me if I walk past any. A syringe we really need. It's all good stuff. Otherwise, I should go for a little bit. We don't want to push our luck. Like at this point, somebody might come over and say, "Okay, I want to hit the med room." Rubbish. So we could get caught with them trying to get to the switch, turn on the power. So it's not going to take too long, but we need a lot of this stuff. So what can we lose here? That can go. That can go. I mean, there's some scavs there as well, so I don't mind shooting those on the way out. We'll do the car and then. To get domed in the head. It can be a bit of a pain in here. Somebody's actually looted this. I'm not going to hang around here. Somebody did spawn here, but didn't do the thing. I don't like that. Oh, it's 5,000 rubles. Perfect. You can tell I don't use that. Alright, we're just getting out. We're going to go to Emikan. We've got enough loot to risk it, I think. It's a little bit disturbing. I guess it's because the price comes down when the SCAV come, right? So just evaluate this. So we could take some of this. We wouldn't be losing that much. You know what? If we lose all of this, we can lose the backpack. Things we need. We definitely need the Iskras. We definitely don't need that. That's going to fetch a bit of money. That we need. That's worth keeping. We can lose the 4,000. We need the meds. We need the syringe. What's good for money? We've got plenty of those. Adrenaline would take for money. That and that. And then I think we lose the backpack. And then we're just going to get out the no backpack extract. We made a slight mistake there. It's not worth risking getting it out of Emicom at this stage. Again, just trying to stay focused on progress here. Money's money, but you can always make money in this game. One thing I'm not worried about is making money. I'm worried about how much we're going to burn through because of the rule set, but actually making the money is not a problem. Get out of here. A little bit scuffed there at the end, but yeah, we got the job done. Another survive as well. What was important about that was that the way that we pathed from the edge to the inside, we actually completely missed the guy who was at power. So there was obviously someone there who looted there, and we completely went around them. So we didn't have any danger from them unless they stuck around even longer than was necessary, which I guess they didn't do. But we was able to sort of path around the potential spawn, if you see what I mean. So we messed up the amount of cash needed for the extract, so I had to drop a bit of loot, but overall a successful raid. Just a reminder that if you want to see more of this kind of educational full raid content and want to support the channel, then the best way is to like the video and leave a comment. I really appreciate those that do. Our next SCAV raid on reserve, we picked up 2 gas analyzers, Dorms 203 and Director's Office Key, all of which are going to be needed soon for tasks. For Raid 6, we load up with our trusty M4 and take the level 3 UN armor we picked up from the SCAV run, as well as the 2 Iskras and 2 Waters for the Thrifty task. Okay, so raid number 6. I would have liked to mix it up and gone to customs, but we're certainly not going there while there's a Sanitar event on. So we're back at Woods. A couple of choices here. We've actually spawned in a really bad place. We're over by the water's edge. Whilst we could kill scavs from over here, we do want to get at least one lot of the Iskras down. We've got such a long way to go. I'd much rather have spawned one side or the other. Really not that helpful. Trouble is, I don't really want to die with the Iskras, so I think we'll try and move towards the bunkers. We'll try and get them both done. Let's see where our extract is first. So we're extract at ZB14, which is over here. We're up on the north side of the map. So we're going to head to 16, ZB16. We're going to try and get the 2 items done. Once we get those done, we'll spend the rest of the raid trying to kill scavs. If for any chance we run into scavs, we will be taking the shot though. From a point of view of overall efficiency, you have to factor in, that's a weird audio glitch, you have to factor in that if we don't get these 2 Iskras down, we have to go back and do a raid on interchange, or at least 1 raid. So, you know, there's choices and all that, but if I was trying to run an optimal playthrough, I'd be super careful here. I wouldn't even engage scavs probably, not until we got them both down. But because we're not trying to rush through this. So this is the hill where we originally got shot at in that first raid. So the first guy was up here on this hill. Way up probably. So there's every chance that will be the case again. Hopefully all the chads have cleared off and gone to customs to do the event. If we get into any fights, we'll just be little Timmies. We can have a Timmy fight. There is some loot up here as well, but we're going to be focused on trying to get these, at least the first set down in ZB16. I think one of the things that I try to get across to people that are sort of newer to the game is just try and make some progress. So I don't like being out in the open here. We're going to head more towards the tree line. Yeah, so he was up there. Yeah, so if you can keep making small progress, even if that progress was to kill 1 scav right now, I mean that's 20% of the kill task that we have to do. So if you look at it in those sort of small numbers, it stops you getting too despondent when you have a few bad raids. You know, there's one thing dying all the time, there's another thing dying all the time, not getting anything done. I think I just heard someone. I don't like just sitting here, but I didn't get a direction. There's so many audio bugs right now that it could have been just, you know, it could have been my character making a noise. It wasn't an obvious player movement. I feel like they're on top on this ridge if they are. So we're just going to take it careful. Check this out so that we don't get shot in the back. I'm very happy about some of the audio bugs in this game right now. It doesn't matter too much when you're running around like a Chad, but when you're trying to survive a few raids, a little more painful. Okay, so we're going to get down in the low ground here, try and get out of sight in the big hills a bit. Need to be careful of scavs over here. Basically just trying to get to ZB16, get the first one down. So I think we just found Timmy. He just ran over a mine. We did hear some sort of shooting over here, so I'm being a little bit careful. Again, we saw this one in the first raid, ZB16. Obviously the smoke wasn't up then. It is now, so we're going to plant these 2 items. Hopefully there's no players down here. Sometimes I like to sit up on those barrels. So we just have to hold it for 20 seconds. And again, even if we die here now, whilst we're trying to survive, there's other obviously reasons we want to survive. Not less because we don't get our gear back. The important thing is to make some progress before you die. If you tab in and out of inventory, you can replace the second one down. Yeah, we have a little bit of bag space, so we will check. Anything decent? Never know, might find a decent gun or something. One of the reasons I would check these weapon boxes and crates and things is for any type of decent scope. Having like a 4x scope that we could put on here would be really useful. Normally a water filter would fetch you a lot of money on the flea market. It doesn't go for much to traders, so it's not as big a thing for us, but if you saw that starter in, there's just a bug in the game. Both the bunkers seem to have that right now. Like I'm stuck on mud right now. What's going on? So we're going to be heading over to the other side now. So headed to extract, which is where the other bunker is. But obviously we are going to shoot any scavs along the way. The choice really here is, do we go on the right hand side or the left hand side? Left hand side is like near the water, is more dangerous in terms of we're running out in the open, but it's definitely a path less travelled, so I generally prefer it. You got more chance of being sniped, but less chance of running into players at any kind of short range. Okay, so we can hear some scavs here. I think what we'll do is we'll... Oh, he's got eyes of like a hawk. So I want to drop my armor before we shoot him here. I'd like to make some progress on it. So we can't just go running in there and just like kamikaze in, trading shots. So because it sounds quiet over here, I think we're going to try and get a couple of scav kills without the armor. It's a bit of a pain, but we can find this guy. They like to move around a lot, but they also like to hide around this corner. So I'm going to use the right hand peek here. We've got no armor on, so I do not want to be taking a shot from this guy. I'd rather that been on single fire there, but so we use the lean peek to take a right hand angle on him. I'm actually not going to take this. I don't want to get too heavy. What I will take, I'll just take that off for money. We can buy that off of Jaeger. We don't need to take all that. We can buy this ammo. So what we'll do is we'll drop this. We'll use this for extra space because we can get more out of this than we can without it. You can get 2 or 3 scavs around here. Now we're here. Now we've made a bit of noise. We'll keep moving, but we will try and get 1 or 2 more. So you'll hear me talking about the right and peak a lot, especially when we're coming up against AI with no armor and stuff, because we don't want to be getting one tapped with a shotgun. Can't hear anymore, so maybe we've only got the one here. Okay, we'll just keep moving. We could take the shot on Sniper Scav if he's there. Well, he will be there if he's not been shot already. We'll move in and get a bit of an angle. This feels like a really quiet raid right now. I've not heard a lot of shots. Definitely not on this side. It's a chance for us to take a few more risks. This might be a little bit close to get him. Let's get a bit of an angle. Can't see him at all at the minute, which is a bit annoying. Maybe over the back, but he's the easiest kill we'll get as long as he doesn't see us. The snipers. Keep an eye on him, see if we can get that. Obviously that's the lumberyard there. Sturman could be there. Still can't see him. Somebody might have sniped him. So we're going to keep moving a little bit here. I feel like this is the riskier path in terms of running into players. So I'm not too fussed about being quiet here. I just want to try and stop an easy snipe, an easy headshot snipe. For most guns we can take one bullet to the thorax and still survive. Any headshot's going to kill us. We don't even have a helmet. So these little motions, taking the low ground, give us a bit of cover. Okay, so there's a wooded area there. I can hear a player behind. He's actually up on here. Is really annoying. So this is an audio bug, then he's in here, he's on top of here or behind here. Yeah, there's definitely a player there. So we're going to try and not get involved in him. This could be a bad decision, because he could look up now and have a clean shot on us. The fact that he's playing so passively there, hopefully he's not interested in fighting either. Maybe he's just looking for Sturman. Yeah, we're going to get our breath back here. He might just be sitting there with a bolty, and we probably could have killed him, but we are not here for PMCs. Most times we lose the PMC fight at this stage. With this armor, these guns, especially this ammo. So we want to get completely out of range of him, so we're going to go deeper into this forest. And then we're going to look to our right a little bit and see if we can find any scavs. Here we can hear some around us, but I don't want to go down into the camp there. But at the same time, we are making our way across, so don't see any scavs there. Still kind of sticking to the main objective of getting to ZB14. There's a hut over here which has some good attachments, which either gets hit straight away or often doesn't get hit. But it can have scavs around it. I think we're just going to move towards it. Right, you see one there, it's a long shot, but that's two. You can often just be sitting here. You have to be careful because they literally can just be sitting inside. Okay, so nobody's hit that. Alright, so there's a decent scope for us here. It's good. We will take the milk and then we'll head off. So the plan now is we're going to get to ZB14 and then we'll try and finish off the rest of those scavs. It's not my favourite site, but it's a site. So let's just quickly drink this. Probably not worth keeping. We'll take this off and use this. Gives us a bit of range. A little bit risky here to go quite straight across the middle, but and this feels like quite a raid. So we see a scav there on the left. We do not want to get caught outside here, caught in the middle. So we'll get him in a second. I'm just going to take a peel here. Did I bring any? I did not bring any. Good job, down. So there's a guy there. Probably with this scope, we could actually take the shot here. I just lost him. He was just here. There he is. Honestly, we don't need to take that shot there. Let's move in a bit closer. There seems to be plenty of scavs here, so we can get what we need from here. Just want to get across this road. Right there. We'll take it a little bit wider. We don't want to get one tap by a scav. Let's get this task done. Get some strength up. We'll head in to the bunker, get these down, and then we can deal with these scavs. It sounded like there was one really close. He's already been killed. Gotta be careful here. Could be a player down here. Multiple. I don't know if a player got killed there, but we'll check the bodies. One of the reasons we're trying our best not to deal with players is just purely because of the ammo we've got. Forgetting the recon and things like that, even if we could hit the shots, unless we're hitting headshots, then we're suffering against most armors right now. Even a level 4 armor, we've got to hit like 4 shots with in the thorax with this this ammo. Okay, so that's complete. Let's, so he has been down here, so I guess he is alive. So this is that bug inside again. It's kind of been looted as well. We'll see if we can pick up some pieces. We'll take that for now because we're close to extract. All right, let's see if we can. Get these SCAV kit on. Oh my god. What are you doing, son? Oh my god, there's two. So we're going to take a risk here. Just going to dump this and go up there. We're in full auto, we are. Don't have a lot of ammo, but be careful because that one might come straight down. Do need a 3M armor as well. It's definitely more risky being at close range here. Did he go in the back? But we're making noise as well, so if a player was going to come along here, we're in a lot of trouble. Where did he go? I hear him. Can we use the rat and peek here? Badly, can't we? We honestly don't have to get all of these in one go. Sounds like the scavs are coming, so we may as well. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to check for 3M armor here. I think we'd rather take the SKS. Honestly, we're not going to use any of their guns, so it doesn't really matter. Take these for a bit of money. It's a decent gun to have because we can put a scope on that. Actually have some range. 10k's worth. Oh, put it in the wallet. I think we'll give up that for that. Some scavs coming up on us now. We don't need to be dealing with any more scavs. I have 5 kills without the armor. I'm not even sure if we pick the armor up then. But we're heading straight out, so we will not be getting involved in any. Did we pick it up? We didn't. Not the best. But not worth getting shot over. I assume that that was a scav, but if there was any chance that was a player. It's not worth the risk. So ZB14 wasn't open, so we couldn't go in there. Obviously, you have to have a key to open the door to extract from ZB14, even if there's green smoke there. So we're heading towards outskirts. Just trying to kind of use the tree lines and things for some sort of cover. Hopefully we don't get sniped in the head here. Okay, happy with that. So we ended up being in the raid for about 25 minutes there, but it was worth taking our time to get all 3 tasks completed. Jaeger's tasks get really annoying, so banging them out a couple of times will help with progression. Planning the order in which you do the tasks will allow you to combine them, so overall time well spent as this now unlocks 4 more tasks. We found a Salewa in our next reserve scav raid, so got out quickly to hand that in. Getting the Saliba task done ASAP will really help, so I'll always extract when I find one when running the SCAV. For Raid 7, we have the option of taking on all of the 4 new tasks, so I load up with a bolt action rifle for the Tarkov shooter task and a Kedda for close range. All the extra painkillers, AI2s and the water is so we can dehydrate for the Zhivchik task. We'll then use the pain effect we get from the dehydration to get the 3 scav kills for the Wounded Beast task. If we spawn in the north, we'll also attempt the search mission task as well. Okay, so we spawned towards the medical tent side. So more over the south. This is the southeast corner. We have a couple of choices here. I'd like to get into a position where I can kill the scavs, but I don't want to risk too much early because we haven't got any tasks done yet. So we're actually going to move to the medical tents. They can get busy with PMCs, but there's also likely to be a lot of scavs there. Plan is to get there, get close by. We're not worried about looting, so if a PMC turns up, they can go ahead and do their thing. But if we get close enough that if we see any scavs moving around, we'll be able to take the shot. But before that, we need to do the very exciting thing of dehydrating. We'll do that in a second. I want to get my eyes on it, but do not want to be too close. A nice bush somewhere. Okay, so we can see it there. We just want a nice little bush to hide in. One of these trees will probably do actually. We'll just lay down here. Okay, so the plan here, we need to dehydrate and then we need the pain effect. So the idea is we dehydrate, which will give us the pain effect. We'll then be able to, once we've done it for 5 minutes, we'll be needed to kill the scavs. You'll see our hydration go down when we use these, and we're going to keep using them until we're at 0. Wait for the pain effect. We'll be waiting for 5 minutes, so we want to complete the dehydration task for 5 minutes before we move. And then we're looking to get those 3 kills as soon as possible, because we'll be losing health the whole time because we'll be dehydrated. So that's at the moment, that's the way that we're getting our pain effect. In an ideal world, you'd have a broken arm and you'd get it like that. But it's not the only way of doing it. And obviously you could do this in separate raids, which would be easier, I guess. Just do the dehydration and do the pain effect at another time. But I'm going to try and do them at the same time. So we've got pain. We're now just waiting 5 minutes. So it's not going to be very exciting. There's our stats while we wait. 5 minutes in the bush. And we're just going to wait for that task to be done. As I say, one thing that can go wrong here is because we're going to be dehydrated still afterwards with the pain effects, because if we drink, we'll lose the dehydration, which means we'll lose the pain effect. So we have to keep dehydrated to get these 3 kills. So we're going to want to do it pretty fast. There's only so many painkillers I've got, and without painkillers, if I'm dehydrated and in pain, I'm going to have a blurred screen. We're very much looking to move quick, which is why I got into a position where I'm near potential scavs, like a majority of scavs, so there's a good chance I can get 3. I'm probably just going to fast forward here because you're going to get a blurred screen for 5 minutes, and that's going to be pretty horrible. So I'll see you in 5. Okay, so that's that task done. So what we'll do now is we'll take a painkiller so we can actually move. You can see that we've lost a lot of health there, so we're going to have to give some of that back. I don't want to run in there with low health. The dehydration one's done anyway, so if worst comes to worst, we do the pain effect one at another time. Now, I'd like to... Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. I did not mean to take those. That's not a good idea. We really have to do this quick now. I've only got 2 painkillers. May have to abort this. It's because I've got them out of the wrong way. So I'm actually going to move pretty quick. We need 3 SCAV kills while we've still got this pain effect. We've only got about a minute or so. It's probably not worth dying for in terms of... I could just abort here. And I could come in with a pain effect in the next raid. And go from there. Especially as there's no scavs here. If there was some scavs here, we could get started, then it would be worth. Oh, there is 2 scavs here. I need to repair that damage. Okay, I'm not going to mess around too much with the bolt action. But this just means we can get this done. Even though they took our arm. He didn't give me a broken arm, did he? He didn't. Shame. Because we could have drunk. Quick take a painkiller here. Got 2 kills. I don't think this is 40 meters anyway. Definitely not risking it. So that was terrible. Everything about that was terrible. We did get the dehydration done, so you know that's something. But that definitely wasn't worth losing our life over. I wasn't expecting and didn't hear him walk right up on me. I don't think we was 40 meters away anyway to be worrying about the bolt action. So overall, just a couple of really bad decisions there. But yeah, well, we'll have to take it. It is what it is. We move on. At least we got a task done. Okay, mistakes were made. In hindsight, although I tend to do the dehydration and pain effect kills together, doing them with a painkiller puts a lot of pressure on getting the scav kills immediately after, as you're constantly losing health and movement is slowed. After the raid, I noticed I had a Vaseline, which would have been much better for this, as you get 5 minutes of painkiller effect. So we'll make sure we use that for the next run. That brings us to the end of episode 2. A needless death at the end, but overall good progress, leaving us at level 6 with 5 out of 7 survived so far. Importantly, even after over 4,000 hours in the game, lessons can still be learned. For now though, as always, thanks for watching, and if you want to learn how to make millions on Lighthouse as a scav, then check this playlist here.